Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Love, Peace, Progress, Prosperity and Grace. We need to find an acronym for that long name, guys. So in the comment box, please leave your suggestions for an acronym of something shorter, but that means the exact same thing that we're going for. Like we spoke last time, we spoke about, my question was, how do you protect your peace? And how do you protect the peace of others by making sure that you do not interfere in how they protect their peace. Do you know what your peace is? And funny enough, I went to work and I asked my colleagues, what is your peace, or how do you protect it? And I came scaringly, or funny enough, I came across a majority of my colleagues asking me, what do you mean by what is your piece? Like, explain to me what your piece is, and then I will then maybe understand what you're on about. And to me, it got me thinking that we live in a generation or in a society whereas we have not quite defined our piece. So whatever makes us happy for the short term is our piece. And I had to define what my piece is to a lot of my colleagues. And I found that my piece was very superficial as well. And everyone's like, oh, why? Because everything that I have said is my piece, or everything that I have thought and hoped was my piece, turned out to not be. Now, when I say not be, I'd always thought my family is my piece, or getting to know my dad's side of the family is my piece, or feeling accepted into my dad's side of the family is my piece. But whether that has happened, you guys need to watch and find out. But either way, I've not found peace in that. I'm at an age where if I don't find my peace, and if I don't find me, then I will basically shapeshift into everything that everyone else around me is. Um, I came across a friend, Karabo. You'll see her in one of the videos. I asked her what her piece was, and she was like, I don't know, I'm just a happy person. And it had us talking about, are you truly happy, or do you put on a persona that you are happy, so much so that you've come to think that you're happy? And I left her with that, because I left her thinking, like, you should have seen the facial expression. She was like, oh, like, 1 minute, please leave us alone, type of thing. I spoke to Chris, a friend of mine. He said his peace is the space that he lets no one who makes him unhappy in. That's his peace. He says that space, whether surrounded by 1,000 people, whether surrounded by one, whether by himself, that's his happy place. Couldn't define it into words as to what it is like, how it feels, but I was at peace with the fact that he said that circumference around him is his peace. What it means to be in that circumference, sometimes we can never put into words, but that's what he said. Another guy friend of mine said he doesn't care if we judge, but his peace is his girlfriend. Now, he'll also be on one of our videos, but he said that his girlfriend's his peace. It's his place where he can be vulnerable, where he can, and realizes that he can, and he knows that he won't be judged, so he can let himself be him. Now, that is a conversation for another day. Then let yourself be you. I mean, we all wear masks every now and then. Some of us, it's a permanent thing. You wake up in the morning after crying on hours just to wake up, put on a smile, and go and see the world. That's a video for another day. But he said that was his peace. I've come to realize that I'm still looking for my peace. I don't know where I'll find it. I don't know how I'll find it. I'm just hoping that through these videos, through speaking to people, through conversations, through asking the most uncomfortable questions, I myself will find my peace. Maybe it's in front of the camera, I don't know, or behind a mic, or traveling the world by myself, or traveling the world with a companion, or you know, I'll never know if I don't look for it, consciously look for it. And that's where my stance is. If we do not consciously look for our peace, if we do not consciously try to find it, and consciously admit that at this time, at the moment, I don't know what my peace is. I chance andiazi. Maybe it's going out with friends and having the time of my life. Maybe that's my peace for now. It's great as long as you admit to yourself that either you don't have it, you're not sure what it is, or your peace is very temporary. It's going out with friends, you're at peace there. Talking to your mom or your dad on the phone, you're at peace in that moment. Sitting and just doing nothing is your peace. I spoke to a friend of mine, Utandeka. She said her peace was not having to have lyrics of a song to explain how you feel, not having to explain yourself to anyone, um, where you can cry and no one asks you what's wrong, and they're just there to comfort you, where you can just sit or lay on the grass and watch the sun go down. That was her peace. Her place of refuge was her mental state of keeping calm in a storm. So we all have our different types of peace, or the way we define our piece of happiness, if we call it that. But I can only know what your piece is if you leave it in the comment box. Tell us what gets you ticking, what gives you peace, what gives you calm, where there could be 1,000 making a noise around you, but if you go to that place, you find yourself at an unexplainable happiness or calm or peace or grace even, or love, or even progress, prosperity, whatever it is you want to define it. Just find it and be happy within what you find. And if it's broken, then admit that it's broken, or admit that it's not there, and then consciously say, how am I going to fix it? Or am I throwing the broken one out and I'm getting a new one? All I advise is, let our peace not be defined by our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our partners. Let's try and define it ourselves first, because if that person walks away and that whole person is your peace, then what are you left with at the end of the day? Thank you everyone for joining me once again. I do hope that you enjoy this video, you subscribe to my channel, you like and you leave comments in the comment box. Our next video will have a friend of mine, Garabo, asking us a question, and this is her asking for advice. And so guys, please don't be too judgmental, but give her a chance or help her, and let's see where it goes. Love, peace, progress, grace. I'm out of here. Bye guys.